As the helicopter approached a mountain whose summit was crowned with 3 uneven knobs, Hank Thurston, seated in the front passenger seat, tapped the shoulder of the man sitting beside him and pointed through the canopy. "That's Le Dormeur," Thurston said, raising his voice to be heard over the thrashing rotor blades. "The sleeping man. The profile supposedly resembles the face of a sleeper lying on his back." Thurston was a full professor of glaciology at Iowa State University. Although the scientist was in his 40s, his face exuded a boyish enthusiasm. "Poetic license," said the passenger, Derek Rollins. In his late 20s, Rollins was a writer for Outside magazine. "I can see the brow and the nose and chin." After a couple of passes around the crags, the helicopter broke out of its lazy circle, scudded over a razorback ridge, and dropped down into a natural bowl several miles across. The floor of the mountain basin was covered by an almost perfectly round lake. "Lac de Dormeur," the professor said. "Carved out by a retreating glacier during the Ice Age and now fed by glacial waters." The aircraft passed over a wide, sturdy-looking vessel anchored near the shore of the lake. Cranes and booms protruded from the boat's deck. "What's going on down there?" Rollins said. "Some sort of archaeological project," Thurston said. "The boat must have come up the river that drains the lake." "I'll check it out later," Rollins said. "Maybe I can pry a raise out of my editor if I come back with 2 stories for the price of 1. He glanced ahead at a wide ice floe that filled the gap between 2 mountains. "Wow! That must be our glacier." "Yup. Le Langue de Dormeur, the sleeper's tongue." The helicopter made a pass over the river of ice that flowed down a wide valley to the lake. Rugged, snow-dusted foothills of black rock hemmed the glacier on both sides, shaping it into a rounded point. "Hold on," Thurston said. "We're about to land." Moments later, the chopper's runners touched down on a brown grassy strip a couple of 100 feet from the lake. Thurston helped the pilot unload a number of cartons from the helicopter and suggested that Rollins stretch his legs. The reporter walked to the water's edge, gazing at a boat anchored about a quarter mile from shore. He recognized the distinctive turquoise blue-green color of the hull immediately. He had encountered vessels of similar color while on writing assignments. Even without the letters NUMA painted in bold black letters on the hull, he would have known the boat belonged to NUMA, the National Underwater and Marine Agency. There was definitely an unexpected story here, but it would have to wait. Thurston was calling him. A battered Citroën 2C was hurtling toward the parked helicopter in a cloud of dust. The pint-sized auto skidded to a stop next to the chopper, and a man who resembled a mountain troll emerged from the driver's side like a creature hatched from a deformed egg. He was short and dark-complexioned, with a black beard and long hair. The man pumped Thurston's hand. "Wonderful to have you back, Monsieur le Professeur. And you must be the journalist, Monsieur Rollins. I am Bernard LeBlanc. Welcome." "Thanks, Dr. LeBlanc," Rollins said. "I've been looking forward to my visit. I can't wait to see the amazing work you're doing here." "Come along, then," LeBlanc said, snatching up the reporter's duffel bag. "Fifi awaits." Thurston irreverently jerked his thumb at the Citroën. Fifi is the name of Bernie's car. "And why shouldn't I give my car a woman's name?" LeBlanc said with a mock expression of pique. "She is faithful and hard-working, and beautiful in her own way." As the car began its ascent up a gravel road, the helicopter lifted off, gained altitude over the lake, and disappeared behind the high ridge. "You're familiar with the work being done at our subglacial observatory, Monsieur Rollins?" LeBlanc said over his shoulder. "Call me Deke. I've read the material. I know that your setup is similar to the Svartesen Glacier in Norway." "Correct," Thurston chimed in. "The Svartesen lab is 700 feet under the ice. We're closer to 800. In both places, the melting glacier water is channeled into a turbine to produce hydroelectric power. When the engineers drilled the water conduits, they bored an extra tunnel under the glacier to house our observatory.